Gentlemen, welcome to our
surprise Friday.
Friday
we just
live.
wanted to do a Friday check-in and see how everybody was doing. Oh, yep, there we are. Right there. Nice.
Did it work?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. How's everyone doing? We'll wait for a few people to... Just wanted to do a Friday check-in and see all of our... Everything is so loud. There we go. Okay, I see it. I see. How is everybody? We are just sitting there. We have been discussing a bunch of stuff all day today about polygamy, lineage of polygamy from the LDS Church to the Kingstons to the FLDS to the AUB, where everybody got their authority. So I'm like, we were making some videos on
where they think they got their authority.
Yeah, where they think they got their
where
authority.
They claim they got their authority.
So we were just like, should we just go live and say hi to everybody? And we were recording our take on sister wives because we're slow this week with our son's wedding. And so we just decided, what the hell? Let's just do it. Let's go live and see how things are going. So how is everybody?
Welcome, California, good. Australia.
Yeah, hello, Deborah says
Colorado.
Oh, I'm going to update this to 20 seconds. Hey, Loveland, Colorado. We have family that lives in Loveland. She's Creeping Chaos says, normally I have to watch the next day after. I'm so excited. Yay. Well, welcome. Yeah, we were just sitting here going over sometimes, well, I guess we could just talk about like what we were talking about. We'll take some questions too today. We were just
we had a question earlier that somebody sent us in, why the
hey sister.
Yeah, hi little sister. Why the church releasing the 1886 revelation was so important, or if it was important to the polygamous groups. And yes, they have been living their basing their whole religion around this 1886 revelation, or the revelations that said that polygamy would never be taken from the earth again. But they were going off of generations before telling them that this existed. And the whole reason that it's super important to the to the polygamists is because it was a PSR, or a prophet, seer, and revelator of the LDS Church that actually had this revelation and put it out there. And so that's where their claim is, to continue living polygamy was based off of one of the LDS Church's prophets saying that it would be
never
removed, and they were looking for a copy of it so that they could legitimize it. Well, now that copy exists. The church had just had it hidden in their archives for a while because they didn't want to admit that the same prophet or prophets within their group could say, even though they did before the beginning, Joseph Smith said, yes, we're going to live polygamy and it'll never be taken from the earth again. Multiple prophets down said, no, got a new revelation saying that it's going to be taken from no longer lived here on the earth. And then wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's for the government and the public to know. We are still going to keep doing that behind the scenes. And so that's what legitimizes all of these fundamentalist groups that most of them, we were raised that we were still a part of the LDS Church. They just couldn't, we were the bastard children of it. They just couldn't, we weren't legitimized. Yeah, we weren't the legitimized part of the church. So,
well, thank you, Linda. Linda said she left another live when she got the notification of our live. Oh gosh, hopefully we're not ruining something, taken from somebody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we someone had sent me that Christine did an interview with Growing Up with Polygamy, which is funny. I was actually about to reach out to Sam and Melissa and say, hey, let's collaborate on this upcoming season, because I love Sam and
Their
Melissa.
take on it.
Yeah, and I just thought if we can get each other. So then we were just, Christine said a couple of things in her interview that got my brain just churning, and just like the legitimacy of why these different, a memory popped up on Facebook. It says, how practice safe
Sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't, I can't remember. Oh,
something about
don't fall for cults, practice safe sex.
Yep.
And so, but what Christine had said in this interview really got my brain just churning about why do each individual groups believe that they have the authority. And so we've just been having this like big discussion all for the last 2 hours. That's what I was telling Corey. I'm like, these are things we should probably put on our channel, is why these different groups feel like they have the right authority.
Yeah.
And someone asked the question, was your church part of the Winston Blackmore group? So I actually have a chart that I got, I don't know, 15 years ago or something like that, that breaks down each individual group and why they believe they have the authority. And the Winston Blackmore group actually came out of the FLDS and started up in Canada. But this chart that I have that kind of breaks things down just says how the Kingstons broke off, and how the Laffertys broke off, and how the LeBarons broke off, and the Harmstons, and like there's a million polygamous groups out there, and that all believe they have the authority, and it all comes down from Joseph Smith. But
so the answer to that is yes. They probably
originated all from the same.
If you go up far enough, they were all part of the same group, or the same set aside group. And then as PSRs pass away, if they don't assign a successor, usually 2 or 3 successors will make a split off.
Yep.
Depending on which groups of the people believe that they are the most worthy leader, and then they'll split off from a group. And so even the AUB is split off of a split off of a split off. So
I said that to my mom
so
one time. I'm like, Mom,
apostasy groups.
You're a part of a religion that is an apostasy from an apostasy from an apostasy. Like, tell me how you believe this. So
they just have to have faith in the leadership is their whole
right. And
thing.
if you ask any, even just a practicing Mormon today, they always want to be able to trace their priesthood lineage. They want to know who they got their priesthood from, who they got their priesthood from, who they got their priesthood from, all the way back to Joseph Smith. So it's really important when you are a priesthood leader to know who your person got their priesthood from, because you want to make sure that you don't have small priesthood. You want to make sure you have big priesthood. And you can't have big priesthood if it's given to you from the wrong person. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's ask. Oh yes, was Cody raised in? So Cody was not. We'll answer. Was born living in the polygamy? No. So how does he say that he doesn't know how to act normally? He was not born into polygamy, but polygamy originated from the church that Cody was a part of. And so a lot of the teachings are very similar. And so, yeah, he just has a lot of the same teachings.
Well, a majority, I would say a huge majority, 90% or more of the people that come into these AUB, if they're being brought in or new blood into these cultures, they come through the LDS church. You have to basically have that core belief system in the LDS church to be a part of these groups. So his family grew up Mormon, LDS, and
probably grew up being taught that polygamy would be lived in the afterlife.
Yep.
That's typically what the Mormon church teaches, is that polygamy will be lived in the afterlife, not in this life.
Yep.
And so that's another reason why there's such a big gap between the LDS church and
if they study into their history and their dogma enough, then they go, wait a minute, there's people living polygamy, the fullness of the gospel is what they call it, and they don't want to live just a part of it. They want to live the full.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no one wants small priesthood. I agree. Yeah, don't forget to like. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Don't forget to like. Hey, South Africa. We got people in here from South Africa. That's amazing.
Welcome.
Let's see.
And it's funny because he made in this last statement that what was the
that Joe Darger's wives were culturally homogenous.
Or so,
I was like, good God, this man and his words that he loves to throw around.
So the only ones that would be outside of that, if he's comparing his family to Joe Darger's family, would be Janelle, who was probably raised in the LDS church, and him.
Yeah.
So his other three wives were all
culturally homogenous.
all raised in the same and that's a fancy word for obedient.
Right.
So,
I know when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh. Hello from Maui. Hi, Maui. Our kids are on their way home right now from their honeymoon. So I saw a couple of you guys make comments about the pictures. Thank you so much. I loved their wedding. It was so, they're just the cutest pictures. I posted some pictures on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Have you not seen them?
I've seen the pictures. Yeah, I've seen the pictures. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Everybody else has.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I threw a couple of them on Instagram just so people could kind of see
what we were doing.
Yeah. We wanted to go live with our girl before she had to go back, but she ended up having to go back early for work. So she wasn't supposed to fly out till about midnight on Wednesday, and she ended up leaving about 11:30 in the morning. So yeah. What did homogenous mean in that scenario anyways? Basically that they were from the cult, like they were born.
They had been trained since childhood to be obedient and follow his lead as a leader of the family, and why they were rebellious and left, he will never know. They were supposed to obey the prophet's anointing of them in their temple ceremony, and basically it was a sealing and anointing. They could never walk away from it, and they did. So and it blows them away, because there are a majority of the people within the AUB that have been raised in it, and it's the only way that they know how to live, and they don't question what they're told. So they want to get to heaven. This is the only way to get to heaven.
Right. So, somebody says he does have small priesthood energy. Yeah. Somebody also said my son is so tall and my daughter-in-law is so tiny and so cute. It's really funny because he's my tallest son. He's 6'9", almost 6'10", and then his new wife, I believe, isn't she like 5'3" or 5'4", something? I think she's like 5'4".
She's about this tall.
Right. Yeah. And then our next son is 6'6", and his wife is 5'4". They're the same height. These girls are the same height. And then our 18-year-old is coming up real quick and he's about 6'9", 6'9"-ish, almost 6'10". So yeah, he'll be hitting that. I don't know why these little tiny girls get these ginormous, huge, tall men, but Corey's the runt of his family. I'm like, why did I get the runt? Because he's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
But he's 6'2" and I'm 6'2". So if he's got shoes on and I don't have shoes on, then I can step on my tiptoes to kiss him. But hi, Australia. Nice.
Yes.
Sorry. Let's see. Okay. Do you guys think that Robin has been manipulating Cody the whole time, and is he unaware, or did Robin start out manipulating and now Cody and she are manipulating together? I think she's been manipulating him from day one. I think she's been manipulating the entire family from day one.
And I think he's been aware of it. He just, he doesn't care. This is his soulmate, and he's okay with it. And to an extent, his manipulation. To an extent, he's enjoyed the manipulation because it's got him what he's needed to be able to control the family. She just wanted, so I think in some ways he's stubborn because she would have wanted him to play nice with the other women to keep those paychecks coming in. And at a certain point, he just didn't want to. He was happy being a monogamist. So,
yeah. And somebody says, come on.
I am a runt.
I know your sister laughed at that. He is the runt of most of the boys. I mean, of his mother's boys. Yes, he's got shorter brothers from other mothers, but of his mom's boys, he's the shortest. From your experience, have men like Cody coming from the AUB teachings who have strained relationships with their kids reconcile with them, or do they ever attempt to?
Meow.
Oh my God, that one still threw me. We laughed about that forever. So these men that come from the AUB and have strained relationships with their children, do you feel like they ever try to reconcile those, or do they just not even try in your experience?
No, eventually they do. Well, in my experience, it depends. So yes, it's usually the kids, to be honest, that try to make a connection back, and then they're willing to. But I have seen men go out and really work hard to try to build up relationships. It's hard when, especially, I have family that grew up in it, lived polygamy, and then left, and now they're trying to make amends to their family, their children, because they left and they raised these kids up saying, hey, this is the way to believe, and then they leave and the kids are like, what the heck? So a lot of the kids have left, but there are still some kids, nieces and nephews in the culture that still believe, because that's the way they are raised, and it stuns them that their parents have left, or one of their parents have left.
I don't have the experience of most men don't try to reconcile with their kids. They don't. There's no point in it, and there's God's work that needs to be done, so why bother? They just move on.
They'll especially if the kids shows interest to maybe coming back, then they will.
Yeah, then they'll take the time out
to do it. But if not,
yeah. Hey, Manti, I have parents who live in Manti, so my mom's here. Let's see.
She is there.
I wanted to answer this one. Okay, don't even say anything. Let's just both shake our heads. Do you think Robin will leave? Cody will leave. Cody wants the show. Once the show ends, yes, absolutely.
Once the show ends, I think that will probably be. They'll come on and do the last season. She'll want, that'll be something good and spicy to put onto the show. So
yeah,
the leaving of 22. Them So absolutely.
Yeah.
She's building it up. So
how do men in the AUB justify not caring for their children? I would like to know that same question, because I feel like I'm one of those children. If I don't push to have a relationship with my dad, he doesn't care to have a relationship with me. And of course, he's very angry about our channel still now too, but I'll doubt he's even sat and personally watched anything. He just has his minions watch and then go back and report to him. So I don't know how they justify it.
Hello, minion.
I really don't. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how you can birth a child and then just walk away from him. I hope that I never understand that, because I never want my children to feel that level of abandonment. So I hope that I never understand it, but these men do it, and they do it frequently. And
I would say some men, there are other men that keep connections with their families, keep connections.
Right.
I feel like that personally, I left, I was ousted, and my dad tried to keep a connection with me in many ways. I tried to keep a connection with him also.
Yeah.
And so I think it was, but I do know some of my family that doesn't feel that way, doesn't feel like he made a connection with them either. So
yeah,
once they left. So
yeah. Okay. Somebody says, I love to see the Dargers on a show taking over Sister Wives time slots. That'd be funny. We've
And
talked about Joe Darger on this channel, you know, and people have come after me for. I appreciate Joe Darger. Like I've said before, when I got divorced, he was the one who gave me a job. He gave me a manager position and paid me well above minimum wage to help me out. And I worked with him for almost 10 years. And I loved him and I loved his family. So I haven't had the experience that other people have expressed that they've had with him. But yeah, let's see. Just joining the live. Is this doll in the background in honor of Robin's dolls? I figured since it's Halloween, we'll throw up the doll again.
Victoria, she's our
Her name's
freaky doll.
Victoria, yeah. So I really appreciate Joe. I appreciate his wives. I've always gotten along. Vicky is probably the one that I've known the very most, and you know, again, our children have been friends with their children because they live about 5 minutes away from us. And so I've always really appreciated him and his family. But I've heard conflicting.
Yeah.
I've heard conflicting stories. It's just not my experience.
Polygamy is hard. And so I don't care how perfectly you live it. I mean, my dad had 9 wives in a house. And so from the outside, everybody's like, man, he's doing a good job. But from the inside, it's hard. So,
yeah.
And so I'm sure from the outside, he's doing a good job compared to what other polygamist families have been doing. But I'm sure on the inside, it's not all peachy and awesome. So,
right. Freaky Victoria. Yeah. And it is true. Somebody just said my kids are 26 and 23 and they're still our kids. I feel that way too. Like our girl came in from North Carolina for the wedding. She's 31. And when she left, man, on Wednesday, I kind of went into a little bit of a depression, like a little bit of sadness. I cried all day. It just like, it's hard when they leave.
Mm-hmm.
I love them being home. It was awesome to have our house full of our kids again. I wouldn't say our house is huge, but it's a pretty good size. We built it 23 years ago, and you know, we have 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms.
Yep.
And so it is a good size for our family. And it was like every bedroom was full over the weekend, and the house is hopping and buzzing again. And I loved it. And so when she went home on Wednesday, kind of went, you know, you get this little upper for several days, and then it goes down into this like, oh hell. But I love our alone time. That's what I was telling Corey. I'm like, I love that we can I just love sitting on the couch and watching TV or going on a walk, or we sit in the hot tub together. Like we've never had this kind of time, because when we got married, I had 3 children. And so we have never had alone time. We've very even traveled together by ourselves.
No, we always had the kids.
Yeah.
So
we take our
once
kids
or
everywhere.
twice, and
so it is definitely it's definitely been a little bit of a like downer for us. So that's why then we're trying to catch up on the Sister Wives episode, which just lit me up.
Yeah.
I had to pause it several times. I think this is the first time I've been like, F this. I was so angry.
Well, and what I did enjoy is he's got his brother on this one, and
his brother calls him out.
They're all your kids. And that's something that probably coming within the family, he gets so wrapped up in being alone with Robin and her kids that he is now referring, because he's been talking with Robin so much, referring to, those kids are my kids. She's saying, well, your kids. She's separating. As a good sister wife, she's doing the exact opposite of what she should be doing. But she's saying, those are your kids. These are our kids. And so Cody's getting so used to it. So it's kind of refreshing that his brother comes in and goes, wait a minute, they're all your kids too. So they're not just.
And there are we've been criticized for some of the verbiage that we use. There are default verbiages that we use, like when we call the wives girls. Hey, Joe Darger and his girls instead of his wives. There are like default languages that we use, and this is unfortunately one of them. Is that a man will use that wife's name to describe that wife's children, and not all men do it, but some men do. And Cody obviously does. So Hey, Lamb, thank you so much for being on here. I was actually, we had debated on whether to go live or not. And I'm like, no, we got to go live. She's been emailing me or DMing me, and I want to make sure we go live on Friday for her. So, oh, right here. Let's see. Do you know if Cody's siblings actually like Robin? I have not talked to one single polygamous person that has anything nice to say about Robin, unfortunately. So I don't know Cody's siblings personally, so I can't answer that. But
Her mom likes her.
I can say that the people that we have talked to don't say a lot of nice things. In fact, they're always like, you could say this on your podcast. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not going to say that.
Well, and see, and I don't know all of Cody's siblings. If they're part of the AUB, then they probably don't, because they have watched that. You don't, if one wife leaves, okay, that might have been a problem on one wife, but when three of the wives that have originally been there, that have been fighting for polygamy, that have been outspoken on how amazing polygamy is, and all of those things over the years get beat down, and all three of them leave, that's a problem within the family. And so they are going to blame Cody most likely, and also Robin, for that dissolving of their family. So
right. So that I'm sure. And then I saw a question pop up a couple of seconds ago that says that the brother probably keeps in touch with the kids. I'm sure it's a very close family, and they all stay in contact with each other. Corey, does Robin's brother that you were friends with keep in touch with her? He actually lives down the street from us. He doesn't live too far from us, and so
I think
last time you saw him at the store.
Yeah, they might run into each other like in a family get together or family reunion or stuff like that, or funerals, but no, I don't.
Do you want to say why or no?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd rather get him on here and let him tell his story. So.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of judgment on lifestyle choices that come from Robin and Cody, and some that they feel like maybe they have to protect their children from other people. So I don't know. I think that might have some of it. But yeah, let's see. I'm trying to.
Let's just say she puts and says really, really nice things on TV.
But that's not how she treats people.
That's not how she treats her family. So.
Nope.
Nope.
And she likes to say that she is very accepting of alternative lifestyles. She's
accepting,
not. Yeah. No, not in my experience, and not the things that I've heard and been told about her. Then she's not very accepting of those lifestyles at all.
And that could have changed. I need to reach out to him again. I haven't seen him for a couple months, so.
Let's see. Do you think Robin will allow her kids to marry a non-AUB member? Well, if you've all seen Aurora and her boyfriend are splashed all over social media right now. So yeah, I don't know
if she can stop them, but she is going to strongly encourage. And here's the thing that I've also seen go on with the AUB. I've seen young women go out and marry their husbands from other denominations, from the LDS church.
It took me a second to say. I'm like, what? What did you just say?
They've gone out and married them and then converted them back into the AUB.
Yeah.
With the lure of maybe getting another wife. So.
Right.
So yeah, they go out also. It's not just the men that go out and try to find a wife and then come back in. Some of the women do too. They go out, they find a husband outside, and then try to get them converted back into the AUB.
Right.
To get into heaven. So.
Right.
So they might get married and stuff, but Robin believes completely in her faith, and so she's going to then try to teach him or teach the spouse, see if he'd be convinced to be able to come back into the
Did we have our channel up and going when we ran into him?
Okay. Oh, so that's been a year.
Yeah,
I haven't seen my friend in a year.
Since you've seen him. And
but we text.
but we did
so.
ask. We did ask, hey, are you ever in contact with Robin? And he's like, oh God, no, she would never talk to me.
Yep.
So yeah. Let's see. I need your take. Why is Robin going to leave Cody when she was plotting to get him to herself the whole time? Make it make sense, right? Well, make Robin Brown make sense. I don't know.
So she might have been plotting to spend more time with him, but she wanted the sister wives around just within the religion and the teaching. Once a sister wife is no longer having children, then they can be put out to pasture. They can still be a wife. They can still add funds into the family group. They just don't need to spend as much time with Cody. Cody needs to spend the time with the wife that is still bearing children and help raise the young children. So that's what she was trying to get. She still wanted the sister wives around, working, making money, building the kingdom of Cody and Robin, or all of them. And so she didn't necessarily, she wanted to monopolize his time, but she still wanted the three wives to be sealed to him so that they could get into heaven. Now that not only have they left, but some of them are getting unsealed and remarried, and that is now messing up her chances of getting into heaven. If he does not have three wives that are in harmony with him, he will not get into heaven. And so my take is that if something doesn't change, she's going to go into the later years of her life going, we're not getting into heaven. I need a release, and I need to be sealed to somebody who will get me into heaven.
Well, so, and if you, on this last episode, we talk about this on our recap of the episode that we will be posting. But she even says that this is not the life that she thought she'd be living, and that she wanted to be living my religion.
Yep.
And so that right there is why I think that her and Cody will end up breaking up, is because she still claims the religion as her religion. And so she wants, the indoctrination runs extremely, extremely deep, and she's not able to break from that indoctrination yet. Dang it, there was a question up here while you were talking I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Cody promised her to basically, part of their ritual and endowment is promised that he was going to be a priesthood leader and get her into heaven. So that was his job, is to keep at least three wives in harmony with him to get into heaven. And if within the AUB, most of the wives would have been, okay, we're not childbearing age, so we understand that he needs to spend more time with the other wives. But when wives start to go, no, shoot, I don't even believe this religion, and they're backing out and away from the religion, especially three of them have now stepped away from not only Cody, but their religious teachings that they were raised with, then they are no longer eligible for the kingdom of God. And so that leaves her and Cody. Well, two people can't get into heaven. It takes four. So,
well, and honestly, I think my sister Emily, in one of her videos, hit the nail right on the head with the fact that they were basically having an affair in front of the whole family. And it was the thrill of getting away with something. And now that thrill's gone because she gets him all the time. And so it's now taken a level of her desire to, she wants to be able to have that thrill. She doesn't want Cody to herself all the time. She wants to be able to get away with the control. Yeah. She is a control freak, not necessarily a polygamist. She doesn't want to be a polygamist. She wants to be in control. And so when she is having a blatant almost affair in front of all of these other wives and she's getting away with it, that's where she gets her thrill. That's where she gets her high. That's where a level of narcissistic behavior kicks in. I'm not saying she's narcissist. I'm just saying that some of the behavior. And so it's not necessarily living polygamy. It's being able to get away with taking something that doesn't necessarily belong to you all the time. Hopefully that at least
Yeah.
that's my interpretation of it. Oh,
Well, and Cody has made statements that he has lost his faith. And so if he had said, no, I still believe in the faith, no, then she might go, okay, well, God will give us that heavenly spot because he still believes and I still believe, and the things just haven't come together. We had 3 wives fall away.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's lost his faith, and so she's eventually going to find somebody who does have the same faith as her.
Yeah, she gets
to
a
get
cheap
her into
thrill from
heaven.
it. For her, that's a dopamine hit, just like shopping is a dopamine hit. But thank you for saying that, because I have been having imposter syndrome all day. And so Corey and I have been talking about this all day. So thank you for saying that. I really do appreciate that, because honestly, I'm like, am I an imposter here? Like, do we really even know what we're talking about?
No, we're not imposters. We were very, very well indoctrinated as children. And so we've had to relearn a lot of our adult lives stuff, but we do still know the thinking because we were very indoctrinated as children. So
yeah, I want to get to this question too. Thank you so much for this question. From a comment Mel made earlier, late to the party, if the LDS now states or believes they don't do polygamy now, but will in the celestial kingdom, where are all these wives going to come from? If you are familiar with the Mormon religion or the Mormon teachings and doctrine, there are temples everywhere. And in the Mormon church, they do a lot of work for the dead. They do a lot of work for people who have passed on and then maybe didn't have the opportunity or didn't embrace the gospel while they were here. So then people go through the temple. Like my daughter used to do it too when she was in Young Women's. She'd go through the temple and she'd be baptized for someone else. That way they're dead. She does it by proxy and she becomes, then that way their temple work is done for them. That's where some of these people will come from, because women can't get themselves into heaven. So these women are now sealed to somebody else who is already got a wife, who's already like, and how many of your uncles one of your uncles for sure, had 2 wives sealed to him before he passed.
He just didn't live polygamy.
He just didn't live it physically.
But through their temple ceremony, he has 2 wives. So
yeah. And so that's really where the Mormon church is now. Every time they do a general conference, which is twice a year, they have been making announcements of a dozen temples all over the world. They have temples. And so they're sending people through the endowment house or the temples and selling them and sealing them to other people. So let's see. Yeah, and I agree with this. I'm sorry, she can't say that she has faith and take what isn't yours. They are thieves. And I agree. And again, these last 2 episodes, I have just been on fire because I'm more mad at myself for giving grace where grace was not deserved or necessary, because I understand what she's saying. I understand how she's feeling. I've had extensive conversations with my mom about this too, because I was not a nice person when I was very active in the AUB. I was self-righteous. I was just a B word, a huge B word. My siblings all hated me because I was so judgmental. And so I just wasn't. I had to go back and apologize after I left because I thought that I was so righteous and I wasn't. I was just an ass. And so it's really hard for me when I watch Robin be an ass, and I understand where she's coming from. I can empathize with that because I've been there, and yet she still doesn't see it. And she doesn't see where her levels of hypocrisy run deep.
Well, she believes that she is living the religion that she was taught as a child to the fullest extent. And she is the most righteously living their religion. And so with those, with her good deeds and her religious feeling so righteous, God blesses her. So that's why that she's thanking God for these gifts
That she stole from someone
yeah,
else.
exactly.
I
That's
mean,
being
really all it is.
taken away from those who are unfaithful, and they're giving them to Cody and Robin through whatever means they need.
Yeah.
But things wouldn't have been set up the way. And if women had stayed faithful to Cody and the family, they would have had their needs taken care of. Well, now that they have left, her needs are being more taken care of than the others because she is more righteous than the others.
Right.
So
Right.
somebody put in there, when they were in the driveway, there was one about in the driveway, what were they thinking type thing, when they were asked how they felt with the whole family not being there to help them move.
Oh yeah.
So, and the answer to that is they were smirking and looking at each other because they are the whole family. The rest are apostates to the family. They are no longer considered the family. And so the whole family was there. His and her whole family was there. Obviously Dayton wasn't there, but basically what they were considering their family hub was there helping them move. And those people that were still loyal to them were there. The rest are outcasts. They're not part of the family anymore. So the producer used the word family, thinking that they were all considered, and they were smirking because they're not family. We are the family. We are the family hub. They are not family hub anymore.
Yeah.
So they are all outcasts. So
these comments are jumping so fast. And I forgot to slow down the comments. So they're jumping so fast. So I apologize for trying to get to some of them.
So hopefully that answered that. They were smirking at each other that they asked a stupid question. We are all here. So
yeah, I'm going to answer this one too. I assume Cody and Robin are extremely homophobic and extremely racist. That would be my guess too. If Tony was black, Lord help us. Yeah.
They're still strong in the faith. I mean,
yeah.
Well, Robin is still strong in the faith. So
I don't even think it has anything to do with faith so much as it just has to do with they're just asses.
And they're saying
when it comes to that, because I don't think that I'm sorry, but I don't think faith teaches you to be homophobic.
No.
I don't think faith teaches you to be racist. If anything, it should teach you the opposite of that. And so I don't want to say that they're deep in they're deep into the AUB teachings and their dogmas in the AUB. Yeah. Because the AUB is extremely racist and extremely homophobic.
Yeah, you can't get into heaven.
Right.
So.
Right. And so that's why that's why I think that Robin protects her children from some of the rest of the family, is because she doesn't want her children exposed to that. And but they just don't talk about it. They just don't say it out loud.
Well, they talk about it. It's no, I love everybody. I love every religion, everything. She's very loving in her talk, but then very protective in her behavior with her children.
Well, what's funny is when Leon came out, Robin was like, "Oh, I'm so accepting, blah, blah, blah. I have family members like that." But then you talk to her family members that are LGBTQ and they're like, "No, she's a straight up asshole. No, we don't have anything to do with her because she doesn't want to have anything to do with us."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a little tea that I haven't talked about. I've been trying not to. Because I don't want to pretend to know what someone else thinks or says. It's just all the behavior patterns are there as to why her children are not allowed to be around some of the other children. And in my opinion, that's why. Oh, what?
Some certain families have been, and I'm sure the family members are given choices whether they want to be filmed or not. Mm-hmm. But certain part of the family has been on camera filmed, and other parts of the family have never even been asked. So
right. And so so I just don't believe that faith teaches you to be that way. I think that is just that's the polar opposite of what God would teach people to do. Oh, yeah, let's see. Hi from Denmark. Hi, how are you? I know these comments are bouncing so fast. I'm like trying to catch them, but they're going so fast. Next time I'll remember to slow the comments down so that they're not jumping through there. Let's see. After a release from the AUB, do extended family members, mother-in-law, etc., still be involved in each other? Yeah, a lot of times they are. The AUB is very friendly that way. I think it's individual family members that make that choice, or individual, like a father of a family might just say, hey, we don't want to have anything to do with them. Or there might be seasons. When my sister left, I have an older sister, and she, my dad married her mother when she was a lot older. She was probably 12. And when she left, we were not allowed to talk to her for a little bit, because my dad was angry with her. But then eventually that went away. It was a short-lived period of time. And then even like some of my siblings, my little sister was really used as an example when she got pregnant out of wedlock. And she wasn't allowed to come to family campouts. She wasn't allowed to come to family functions. My grandma was horrible to her. And she has really paved the way for all 350 grandchildren to more stand up for themselves, because my grandma was just brutal to her, and so was my dad. So
this is where it's confusing. Well, or some people can get pregnant out of wedlock, others immaculate conceptions, things like that. So depends on who you are and what family you're part of. Oh, that one was
right.
It's how it's pronounced. And oh no, this was an immaculate conception, and she needs to get married really quickly to this husband. So
and so some of them it's more hidden than others. Let's see. Okay, this one lit me up so hard, and I have to be careful not to explode on this, but we had to pause the TV quite often while we were watching the show. McKelty heard that Cody said he made sure Robin was safely kept, is what he said. This man is such a piece of work, and it makes me so angry, because if he would have safely kept all of his wives, he'd still have his family. Yeah. If he would have safely kept his children, even if you don't give a shit about these women who have devoted their entire lives to you. I know I could go off on this one. He made a comment yesterday so hard that we watched the show yesterday, that said he was devoted to his wives and his family and the big picture, but not individually. And they weren't devoted to him either. I'm like, you jackass. Yeah, the first time, if these women weren't devoted to you, the first time they heard you having sex with your other wife in a trailer court in Wyoming, they would have left.
Not if even a trailer court, down the hall from the trailer.
Well, down the hall. Christine talks about it in her book. And if they weren't devoted to you, there's no way that they would put up with living in a trailer with all of these children, where they can hear intimate relationships, where they can watch the different dynamics. If these women weren't devoted to you, there's no way that they would tolerate this. So when he makes this comment, I wasn't devoted to them individually and they weren't devoted to me, I wanted to reach to the TV and just strangle this asshole.
Well, the reason, and I don't know, based on the religious upbringing, he was supposed to keep the whole family safely kept. And yet what he's basically saying here is he was keeping Robin safely
one over
kept.
The other.
Exactly. As he was protecting her from the rest of the family. Well, he's right there. He's just admitted he divided the family up and treated other family members as enemies within his precious kingdom. So
it infuriated me when he said that. I was just like, are you kidding me? And this is where he goes off on his victim tangents. I feel victimized because they weren't devoted to me. Excuse me, sir, you weren't devoted to them, and you just said that on TV. Well, these women proved over and over and over how devoted they were to him.
And yet he's still in his victim mode, and he's still saying on TV, this is why I think Robin and him are eventually going to dissolve, is because he's even showing his insecurities right now.
Oh, he's such an insecure little.
He is. So he
little man.
does not believe that he's worthy enough now in Robin's eyes to be her priesthood leader or husband. So, and she's like,
He's
yeah,
like, I
this
hope
is
my value hasn't diminished in Robin's eyes.
and it
has.
Yeah.
How could it not? You couldn't keep 3 women safely
who are
kept.
super loyal to you.
Right.
And
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Our episode that we're putting out, I was like, I need to take a breath before we film this, or I'm just going to be a total, I'm going to fly off the handle about this. Mostly because the part that makes me so frustrated about it is I watch these women who devote everything that they have to these men. They literally give them every ounce of themselves, and they're devoted, and they listen to this man have relations with other women. They listen to this man, choose and pick a wife over another wife. They watch this man go out of town for weeks on end to work and then come home and not have a night with her before he has to go out of town again. Tell me that like, I don't know if that's devotion or if that's just plain stupidity. I think it's a little bit of both, but yeah. Oh yes. Thank you. But if she smacks his butt in public, it's all good. When he said that, I just wanted her to get naughty with me and slap my ass in public. I'm like, you deserve to lose your family. You wonder why you lost your family? That's important to you, not your family.
Well, and I was already
There's my little tangent rant.
So what you got to understand is Cody is reminiscing about behaviors that him and Robin were doing, why they were dating and why they were first married. And she was trying to win his time, affection. She really was doing all of those things. Well, now she doesn't have to. She's the only wife. So
yeah, I love that. Cody put Robin in a pumpkin shell in there. He kept her very well. Yeah, that's awesome. Dang it. There was a couple more. Yeah, I was really fuming at that thought. And here's where, even in Christine's book, I feel this way because this is what I feel like happened to me. I was 16 when I got engaged. My ex-husband was 25. And when we got married, it's like he didn't want me, but I was a trophy. So he took me so no one else could get me before. And then he went on to look for the girl he really wanted, the blonde, blue, whatever he really wanted. But he didn't want to lose me. So he better tie me up and make sure that I'm still there when he comes back to bother with me. And that's what I feel like Christine is saying in her book.
Well, it's because they are working really hard, especially right off the bat, to get 3 wives to start. Right. 2 wives, hopefully 3 wives within the beginnings. So when
Christine says he didn't just not love me, he stopped me from finding someone else who could love me or wanted to love me. That's where I get really angry when I watch this kind of stuff, because I feel the same way. My ex-husband didn't love me. He didn't want me. I was a trophy, and he stopped me from finding somebody who could have loved me and wanted to love me. Thank God it worked out the way that it did, because I would never have given Corey the time of day. He was way too immature for me. It took me marrying Corey at 30 years old, and I was even still like, oh my God, this guy's a man-child. But he's a cute man-child. So it worked out in my favor. But at the time I felt angry and I felt resentful because he didn't just marry me to take me off the market. He stopped me from finding somebody who could have loved me or would have loved me, just because of his greed and his entitlement that he felt. And that's what Cody did to Christine. And it makes me sick because check, he got his 3 wives, and then he's going to treat him like shit for the rest of his life. It's infuriating because we watch this happen all the time. Yeah. And I think that's what makes me feel so.
Well, he treated them as he's watched many men treat their wives at a certain point in their marriage over and over and over again within the AUB.
Right.
And he just assumed that they would take it because their mothers took it, right. Their sisters, everybody that they know are okay with that behavior.
Right.
That's what they've seen growing up. That at a certain point, now you're just doing something on you. And they've been trained their whole life, even when they've been married to him and having children with him, to be on their own, raising the kids on their own. He just visits every once in a while. That is what everybody sees within these. That's what I saw within the communities. As soon as a wife gets to a certain age, then she's busy doing Relief Society or within the community, and he doesn't necessarily have to pay that much attention. They show up and look great on get-togethers and things like that, but they're living on their own, and he's living with the younger wives trying to raise those younger generation of children.
Yeah.
So, and if they're within the same house, that's fine too. He'll say hi to the other wives. They'll have conversations, but he doesn't spend the time with them in their rooms that he would with the wives that had young children. So,
right. Well, and the
just
part,
natural.
yeah. And the part that's
it's not natural, but it's the way we grew up. So
the part that's discussing with Cody too is that truly is, I mean, Solomon's age basically, and so
So he should have been spending more time over there, but he didn't feel like he needed to because she was raised within.
Right.
What's the word he used? Well, she was royalty. She was raised within the community. She knew what to expect, and she should have just
taken
that role.
That's her lot in life.
That's her role.
She gets.
And he felt like she was so in love with him and so loyal to him. And that's the amazing thing. I'm watching these episodes, and you still, even though they're frustrated with him, they're annoyed with Cody, and they've left him, they still give kudos to characteristics he used to have. And Cody was good at this. Cody did these things. So even the three wives that have left him
have shown him
appreciation and grace, even with their leaving. And Robin is showing none of that. That's again another sign that I think she will be leaving him. When she leaves, she is such a victim in this because she was promised so many things from Cody, and that has all dissolved. And part of that promise was he was going to have sister wives to get her into heaven and help take care of her and her children and when she needed, on her terms and her time. And those are all gone now. So she has frustration with the three wives that left, and even more than that, she detests Cody that he didn't do more to keep them, because she saw that he could go say and do something nice to the women, and they were loyal to him. They would come back, and he has just chosen not to. He's very satisfied with being with just Robin. And he's now satisfied with just being a monogamous, and that's upsetting to her because he promised her that he wouldn't be satisfied just being a monogamous. So, and she didn't want just a monogamous. She left the last monogamous she was with. So why not this one?
In fact, I was going to say something about that, but remind me to say something about Preston on that. But I wanted to catch this before the comment goes too far away. So sorry if we don't get your comment and you want it, just hit it again because they're bouncing so fast I can't catch them all. It says the smartest thing Robin ever did was legally marry him, so now she's entitled to half. There are very, very calculating women in this religion. They know what they're doing, and they come in and give every reason why they should be the legal wife.
No, we didn't.
Robin was taught very well.
I have never said that Robin's dumb. She's very intelligent and very manipulative on getting exactly what she wants to protect herself at the expense of the other wives. And she's done that perfectly throughout the whole marriage. She has always had, I mean, the minute they moved out of the big house here in Salt Lake down to Vegas, she's always made sure she's been protected.
Right.
So yeah, she's been taught very, very well.
So what I was going to say is there's some people who wonder if Robin and her first husband Preston lived polygamy, and they didn't. They did not live polygamy. We don't know if Robin was born into the AUB or if her parents just came into the AUB when she was younger. They converted in.
They converted in. Yeah.
And so, but she did grow up on the ranch until she was in her early teens or something like that. And then her mom married Paul Sullivan, and she ended up moving to Southern Utah. But the reason people are questioning that is because Cody and Robin will say Robin was the first wife in her first marriage. And yes, her ex-husband was part of the AUB. Yes, and eventually they probably could have gotten second wife or third wife if they wanted to. But because she was pregnant when they got married, there has to be a repentance process. There's a time period that they have to wait, where they would go through the repentance process. And then if they both wanted to, then they would at that point go through the temple, and then he could get a second wife if that's what they wanted to do. So a lot of people say, Christine said she doesn't believe that Robin ever lived polygamy. And that's why in her first marriage, no, she was not just the first wife. She was the only wife because of the circumstances. And there was an opportunity for them to have a second wife if they wanted to. And then when she comes into this relationship, she still doesn't live polygamy because she monopolizes all of his time. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you so much, Carrie Marie, for that super chat. She says, so now they could not get into
Celestial
Kingdom, Kingdom, right? It depends on who you talk to, because again, the AUB makes up the rules as they go along.
Yeah.
And
based on the religious teachings that, as I understand them, if Cody had stayed faithful to his covenants and not said, well, I don't even, he is denying, kind of saying that he doesn't even believe in the faith anymore.
Yeah.
But if he didn't say that, if he had said, no, I still believe in the way that and things just didn't work out, I didn't do it right, what have you, then based on their teachings, he stayed faithful to his covenant, and he probably could get wives sealed to him or again. But where she's asking, would you do this again? He's like, no, I wouldn't try this again. Then basically he's denying the reason that they can get into the celestial kingdom is having 3 wives sealed to you. And yes, technically, on a technicality, he still has 3 wives sealed to him. But now that Christine has married somebody else, but if she didn't go through the temple, he could still probably claim that he was sealed to her, and then argue it out with God, because he knows all of the rituals to get into the celestial kingdom. But where he's kind of denying it, that's where she's the most frustrated with him, is she still believes in the tenets of the faith, and he is questioning them. So
he's not even just questioning polygamy, he's questioning the full foundation of Mormonism.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like, I feel like he's almost saying things so publicly to purposely be kicked out. And then it's like, I didn't choose this, they kicked me out. Just like he did with his wives, I didn't choose to leave them, they chose to leave. And then that way he never has to fully be accountable about anything.
I kept my covenant.
I kept my promise. These women left.
They left. They broke the covenant and left. And so he could use that as an argument to still try to get into heaven. So maybe God hasn't washed sister wives, and we'll let him in. But
somebody mentioned Maddie's Instagram, and I actually screenshotted those comments when they came up because I thought they were incredible, and good for her for speaking out. I feel like in my family, I'm the Maddie and my sister is the Maddie, because we are speaking out about things and we're getting threatened by people that don't want us to talk out.
Yep.
And
not supposed to talk about this stuff.
And so I screenshotted Maddie's I don't think that Corey's heard them yet,
Mm-mm.
but let me get to this super chat really quick before we get on to that. He says, I saw on Reddit this week that Robin was 22 or 23 when she had Dayton. To me, she totally played it off like she was a teen mom, or is that just me? Yeah, I think she was in her early 20s when she had Dayton. And she did play it off as if she was dumb. And if she was, again, these two are some of the least accountable people I've ever seen. She wants to play it off as if she was, naive or stupid. And to some degree, she was being raised in a high controlling religion. To some degree, she was ignorant to some of the things, but did she know what she was doing? I think she absolutely did. That's my own opinion. I was 17. I was extremely naive to a lot of things. I was, but even still, if you ask my mom, she's like, you knew what you were doing. I'm like, Mom, I was 17. How the hell could I know exactly what I was doing? Like, that's your job to make sure that I don't make stupid mistakes. But nonetheless, at the time, I thought I knew everything. So yeah, I think that I did hear that Robin was in her early 20s when she had
Probably.
Dayton. And so it was a conscious decision she made. She knew what she was doing when she got pregnant. She's not that dumb. But Maddie's Instagram says, has Robin really tried to make any attempts to reach out to you? And this is Maddie's response. Robin is a liar. The end. If her mouth is moving, she is manipulating in such a calculated way that you will not know up from down. Truly, she is a liar to an extent that you have not seen replicated, or I have not seen replicated. Just my own personal opinion. Take it or leave it. I love her response. It's very direct. It's very to the point, and it's like, this is how it is. I love it. So
she knows her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a version of, well, that's a version of Alice that I know exactly. She is a duplicate of her mom. So.
And again, we said this before on our channel. I know dozens of Robins. It's almost like this culture breeds women like this. And
yeah. This is how they survive and get to the tops of their family. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, thank you, Carly. No, we appreciate the super chat. She says, I didn't mean to interrupt your stream of thought. I'm new to super chats. No, we appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll always make those a priority over whatever we're talking. So no, we appreciate it. But this culture breeds women like this. And I'm not saying other cultures don't. It's just polygamy definitely does. And I think my dad got like 3 wives like this. And then what's funny is you put them all in the same area and you get to watch them fight it out.
Yes.
And that can be more often than not, unfortunately. Like, you'd think it would be entertaining to watch it, but it's actually not, because the women or the children become, again, the collateral damage. The children are the ones who pay the price when these self-absorbed, narcissistic tendency type women go at each other. Then the kids are the ones who have to pay the price for that. The next one that she said is, because she didn't ask me a question and they answered it on Instagram. So I screenshotted both of them when that happened, because I was like, this is amazing. But she said, did you talk to Mary? Were rumors that she was quite mean to all of you kids? Were the rumors true that she was quite mean to all of you kids? And Maddie comes back with, Mary was hard as an adult. And to look back and see that I think a lot of who she is due to her own hurt, which I do believe Cody did contribute to. Mm-hmm. So she already refers to Cody as Cody and not her dad. I believe Mary is on her own healing journey. She was extremely harsh. She will never be allowed in my children's lives, though I forgive her now. Mm-hmm. A lot of people want to say, oh, she was just strict in the chaos. And to that, I want to respond. You were not there. You have absolutely no idea what you are talking about. Though I believe Mary has her own hurt, I forgive her and move on. She will never be allowed in a relationship with my children. I wish so badly that when I started having children, I had the wherewithal to take that stand, because I didn't. And I was so young and I didn't have that wherewithal. And I was 17 when I had my first child. And my dad's wife, who is a Robin or a Mary like this, my son was at her house, and her son introduced my son to pornography. And which is like, they're boys, right? I get it, they're young. This is when the internet was just starting to come out. And so he introduced that to my son. And this wife of my father's says to my son and my two little brothers, because I had two brothers, her son, my mom's son, and my little brother are all the same age. She says, we never have to talk about this again. If you don't tell your parents about it, I won't tell anyone about it. And you promise me you will never do this again. If you don't keep that promise, then I'll tell your parents what you just did. And I didn't have the wherewithal as a young mother to, so I admire Maddie so much for having the courage to say, this woman doesn't get a place in my children's lives. I'm not saying Mary would do something like that. It's just, this is what happens when there's dangerous other mothers in your life. And so my son was introduced to pornography in this way, and then told not to tell me. And of course, what's the first thing he did? He came home and told me right about it instantly. And because that is one of our number one rules, we don't keep secrets in our house. And so he instantly came home to tell me about it.
In the prophet's house?
Yep.
What the?
Oh, I went to my dad just fuming mad, screaming at my dad, and I just lit his world up. So I did have that wherewithal to do that. And so I was probably, I want to say that I was 24 at the time, maybe 25 when it happened. I was pretty young still.
So was he.
So was my son. He was very young. And but that was her response, is don't tell your parents. And I won't tell your parents. You won't get in trouble. Just promise never to do this again. So I admire Maddie. I give Maddie tons of kudos and tons of props for being such an amazing mother. And her kids came first, and her kids were protected first. And I felt like I needed to protect my son from this woman, but I also didn't have the skills or the tools to say, no, my child can't be there. So yeah, there you go. That was a long story. Sorry, that was kind of long, but yeah, it was.
But she obtained them very quickly. She's been a very protective mother.
Oh yeah.
Since I've been around. So.
Yeah. Yeah. My poor oldest guy, he got so many lessons learned on him. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. We grew up together. I was a baby when I had him.
Secrets of the Prophet's House.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. Maybe we'll make this the name of our book. Secrets in the Prophet's House is a great name for your book. That's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, good for Maddie. I mean, honestly, I love to see mothers who will step in and protect their children at all, and so I'm so grateful that she did that. Yeah. Somebody says, I'm proud of you and your son to have that relationship, to trust you, and you show trust in him. Yeah. I love that. I love that. That was the first thing he did. He came home and he's like, Mom, I have something to tell you, and I don't want you to be mad. I'm like, I'm never going to be mad at you. Tell me what happened. I know, chapstick shot. That's funny. Let's see. Did you catch any questions?
I passed some really good ones, but
I know they go so fast. Let's see. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh, what were you saying?
Nothing. I was just reading through the comment.
Okay, let's see. So to stay married to Cody, Robin would be sacrificing her eternity. I don't think being the favorite mattered to her. Being a goddess was her goal. She has always been able to play that role. And I agree with you. I think, again, like I said earlier, I think that it was just, she loves to be in control. And now she is not dictating and controlling other people's lives, because they're like, we choose out. We're done. Peace out.
This is where the, what'd you call them? The ticket wife comes in. So she could just be a ticket wife and wait until later on in life and then get sealed to whoever the PSR is at the time and make it in there if he's not considered worthy to get into the kingdom. So
right. Oh yeah. I'm curious what Cody. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Let's see. Sorry. I'm trying to get another question here. Okay. Curious if children in this faith get the childhood vaccines. The faith, like the religion itself, doesn't teach one way or the other about vaccines. That's more of an individual family situation. At least I've never heard anybody teach over the pulpit to get vaccines or to not get vaccines. I think it's just an individual family.
There's to be completely, especially nowadays, there is a lot of doctors and nurses and midwives that have all went to school within the AUB.
Yeah.
So there's a huge group of all of the medical people that are part of the AUB. And Rulin was a medical in some ways too.
Rulin. Well, he was a chiropractor. He was a
okay.
He was a nature. He did more natural.
Okay. So no. Okay. So, but yeah, like
I just said chiropractor. I'm like, dang it, we were supposed to go to the chiropractor today and we forgot.
But yeah, like most of my older siblings, and that's because we were hunkered down in AUB's compound up there and didn't want government involvement, and really didn't want to go down to a doctor down into the valley to here's 27 kids, we need to get them all vaccinated. And so they just didn't do that, and they consider we were in a closed community. But like most of my younger siblings, I think our age group didn't, but a lot of my younger siblings all got, because then there were nurses within the AUB up there. They had trained nurses and trained stuff like that. And so, yeah, a lot of my younger siblings got vaccinated. And
yeah.
So
I think it's just family preference. It's not taught one way or the other.
So
it's definitely not taught, oh, don't vaccinate. It's definitely not taught, you have to vaccinate. I do remember as small children, and I know this isn't just polygamy. I feel like I always have to preface with that. I remember having chickenpox parties. One person would get chickenpox, and then
Jay Patel, welcome.
And then it's like, oh, let's everybody get together now and get everybody the chickenpox so we can get over it. So
yeah, I remember doing that as a kid. I got some of the diseases that way too.
Right. Okay. Jake Interplate, I think. Thank you for that super chat. It says, newbie here. Of your other family members who left, did they leave for similar reasons to you? I feel like, yeah, you go ahead and answer that since you have a big smirk on your face. And welcome to our channel. Thank you.
Thank you. 3 of us left for my same reasons. We were all excommunicated for nefarious revelation, or
being too damn sexy.
Yeah. So excommunicated, kicked out. A lot of the other ones just left because they didn't believe the religion anymore, and they're watching their siblings all be booted out of the community, all their male siblings being booted out. And so a lot of them just were like, yeah, this is crazy stuff. So a lot of my siblings just left because they just didn't believe it. That we saw how difficult it was living in polygamy. Watched our parents, and we're like, no, we're not interested in this. And so some of them married in other people, but
they ended up leaving later.
Yeah, and left later. I really only have a couple siblings that are still faithfully would be considered faithfully part of the AUB, and that's, I think I've counted 3 siblings that are still part of it. Others just lived it too and saw how difficult it was, and saw how the leadership changed their opinions,
changed the rules all the time.
And they're like, these guys are
excommunicated
Yeah.
for being a chick magnet. That's exactly why he was excommunicated.
So, but basically, yeah, so yeah, some of my siblings left by it being excommunicated. Others left of their own accord, just never married within, just left the community.
Mhm.
And others lost their faith over time. So, and still, I would consider 3 of them still faithful within the AUB. So,
Yeah. Well, and in my family, I was the first to get married in the AUB out of about 350 grandchildren. And I was the first one to leave. There had been some that had fallen away or, gotten pregnant out of wedlock, that type of stuff that were never like in the AUB. But I was the first one to get married and then leave. And I feel like that kind of opened up permission for a lot of other people to leave too.
Younger generations.
And so at that point, a lot of other people started to leave. And so, yeah, it was, you were the first one in your family to leave too, huh? Out of all your siblings? Well, you didn't leave, but I mean, you got kicked out, but weren't you the first one to?
I wouldn't say I'm the first. I mean, some of us just, I mean, my little brother. Yeah, my little brother just didn't want to get active. Yeah.
Yeah, they just never got active. Let's see. There was a question I wanted to get to. Dang it. I needed to
I was very well trained, and then I was excommunicated and asked to leave. So.
Yeah. So yeah, this is this did just happen. There was a paramedic recently killed in a head-on collision in Snowflake. Was that part of your family? If so, condolences to your family. So my dad's wife, it's her younger brother. It was his son. So yes, just through marriage. So it would be my, Moroni Jessup. He posted it on social media on Facebook, and he's good friends with them. And then, but the dad is my dad's wife's. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So in a roundabout way, yes, I'm not directly related to him, but yes, it would be. It would be another way I could put it is Mitch's uncle. Yeah, he would have been Mitch's Mitch's cousin. Aspen and Mitch, he would have been Mitch's cousin that was killed. Young kid too. I think he was only like 21. I mean, it's heartbreaking. Our condolences go out to his parents. So I've known his parents my entire life. I didn't know him. I never met him personally, but his parents I knew my entire life. And remember when they got married, everything. So that was really very tragic.
I've been around her family for 25 years. And I swear every year I meet a new part of your family that I've never even met.
Well, but my dad's wife, that family is huge. So they're one of the main families in the AUB.
Okay.
And so that's why, but it was it was my dad's wife's younger brother's son, if that makes sense. But yeah, how old were you and your brothers when you got kicked out?
Oh, well, I was 23 when I got my excommunication papers, but I left when I was 18. So I left
But not, I mean, you left, but then you went back, didn't
you? Yeah, well, I was up there socializing and and so dating somebody within the group and then got excommunicated, so which was great.
Yeah.
And so then I left for good.
Right. Okay. So Janelle and Christine, do you think there will be friction there because of the children? No, I think that they're just playing on that for clicks and likes. I don't think there's friction. If anything, I would say that Christine has a huge amount. Does she feel maybe slightly envious because she wants to be there? Absolutely. That's normal. But I think if anything, she feels a boatload of gratitude that Janelle can be there if she can't be there.
Yep.
So no, I think
and
that's
I feel
just
like
storyline.
And to be honest with you, I feel like the kids grew up with these two mothers that they both loved deeply, and one of them just lost they lost a brother,
Right.
and she lost a child. I think they're rallying around, and there's understanding there too. There's an amazing rallying around of Janelle by these kids. So, and they consider her
Yeah.
another mother. So it's just there's an understanding there, I think.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's just more to bait people into watching the show. I don't think that there's anything really there. I mean, that's not Christine's character. It's not Janelle's character. Um,
they both went through a ton. So,
yeah.
and they're all just grieving right now. So,
right. Okay. Lindsay says, it's been widely reported that the family that Cody takes a ridiculous amount of supplements. I saw a couple other comments. I'm sorry, they popped through before I could grab them. Yeah. I mean, everyone, my mom owns a health food store. Well, she used to own a health food store. So we, always took supplements. I mean, if you saw my bedroom nightstand right now, you'd be like, this woman is psycho. Because I lost my gallbladder a couple of months ago, and I am on like 2,500 supplements right now, just working through trying to figure out how to function in life now. And I would prefer to do that than prescriptions at any time. And that's a whole other conversation that we could go into. But yeah, my mom healed breast cancer, and I'm not promoting that by any means. Talk to your doctor. But yeah, supplements are a huge part of.
And most men in the AUB at this age do need an extra little supplement. So
their breast gets real small.
Yeah.
And they need those extra supplements to help keep them going.
They all have prescriptions. So
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about different supplements. Sorry.
So yeah, no, I mean, I'm a huge supplement person. Corey's now just starting to get into some supplements. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I think that you have to talk to your doctor, and whatever works for you is what you should do. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I saw that David finally acknowledged that Aspen and Mitch had a baby. I'm so happy for them. She's already shown us what a great mom she is. I know. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for them. Congratulations to them. I think that's amazing. And I'm sure she's going to be she's been a wonderful mother.
Mitch is going to be awesome dad too.
I know.
He's a good kid.
So. Yeah. Corey really likes Mitch. Yep. You should connect with Anna LeBaron. You all have a lot in common, but both of your fathers were and are cult leaders. We actually talk. Yeah. Well, mostly with her sister, Cecilia, is who I have chatted with more often than not, but yeah. I've even told her, hey, if you're in Salt Lake, let's get together and do a live together. So I would love to do that. So I haven't talked to Anna as much as I have Cecilia, but they're amazing. Let's see. When Big Love first came out a decade ago, I was very interested in the whole big family. I feel like we can love more than one person, but after seeing Cody, yikes, no way.
Well, even Big Love showed the manipulation that went on.
To wring Nikki's neck.
Yeah. So.
But I love that show.
Yeah. So. It shows the manipulation, and Big Love shows it in in more of a Hollywood version of it. Yeah, and it did show some of the arguments they have. It just didn't show them breaking up over them and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
So.
But I think it's hilarious. I don't know if anyone's heard this story. I'll tell it again because it's funny. My dad was watching the premiere of Big Love with all of his wives and a couple of different reporters in the same room. And Bill Paxton picks up Marjorie and puts her in the window and having sex with her. And my dad was like, oh, shit, absolutely not. Turns off the TV and refused to watch it. And then on his way home from church, he would swing by our house and pick up an episode here and there. Oh,
well, and what you don't see in Big Love is Nikki, because the way she was raised and within there, she tries to manipulate Barb, but she respects Barb as the head wife, boss wife. Yeah. But she wants to kind of guide Barb or Bill. Yeah. But in there, it shows that Bill has an appreciation for each wife and is having sex with all three of the wives. And so.
But it's so messed up because he has sex with Marjorie, like I think in the first episode or the second one.
But I think all three of them in the first episode.
And then Nikki
So-
comes in and then has sex with Nikki in
That's
Marjorie's
why-
bed, and then says the same thing to Nikki. He just said to Marjorie, and she's like, "You used my words," and I'm like, "This is polygamy 101. That is what happens right there."
And it shows in there that he gets supplements too, because he's
I think
Doing
every
stuff.
polygamous man I know gets supplements. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna rat anyone out here, but I'm pretty sure even prophets get them.
well.
Even leaders get them.
Here's the funny thing. She said something about Nikki shaking off the compound. There's an interesting. I go back up to the compound that I was raised in, and I'll go up in these short sleeve shirts, and all of a sudden I'm walking around like, holy crap. People are looking at me like I'm an outsider until they kind of recognize me. So a lot of times I will put on a long sleeve shirt to walk around the compound so that people just aren't staring at me.
And not me. I will put on a tank
Yeah,
top. Just
she does. She's
because I'm like,
so
you're
we
not gonna
definitely
tell me what to do.
stand out now. But yeah, usually if you go and dress like that, you're blending right back in. And so I love the whole compound version of Big Love. It's how I felt like I was raised too.
Yeah,
So-
that's like Corey's exactly. Oh,
Mhm.
I want it. Dang it, that jumped. Did you? Jay Patel says, Corey, did you start the wedding off with marriage?
I put that part in there.
It was
Yes, I
funny.
did.
It was
I
great.
didn't start it off with it, but when I got to the part where I was welcome everybody to this marriage, this blessed arrangement,
Yeah.
the love within love. Can you remember how I did it? I had it written down so I could do
It
it
was
correctly.
hilarious. He did a great job.
So
Again, supplements can affect your health in a negative way. Also, that's why on medical forms, the doc asks if you take any supplements. I totally agree. That's why I say talk to your doctor, and whatever works for you is what you should do. Whatever you and your doctor decide. But yeah, supplements are a huge part of most people's lives. Our food supply is severely lacking in nutritional value anymore. So
Yeah.
most people do have to supplement because you just don't get it in your food.
that's
anymore.
it. That's an interesting. I probably ate healthier as a child and a young adult than because we had everything that was raised on the farm. We raised all of our own food. So
Yeah. Yep.
then I get down here and live in city life. And
I know. I tell him all the time, you had way better food. Like your food was
We still
full of
do. You go
nutritional
up there,
value, and
yeah.
our food down here sucks. But let's see. Oh yeah, sorry. A lot of people don't get the notices from YouTube when we go live. I don't know why. We just had a lot we were discussing this morning, and so then I'm like, I know that I have this chart that talks about the priesthood lineage of like each individual sect, like the Kingstons, the Order, the FLDS, and this one even goes into John Singer and Adam Swap and the Lafferty boys, the Lafferty brothers, and the Harmstons and Tom Green. So this is a great chart that we have that talks about where each one of them is in there. Bill from Big Love was a huge, that's why we went live, because we were in a massive discussion. Like, we should just go, this is what we need to talk about on our channel. We need to talk about this kind of stuff because I'm so sick of Sister Wives stuff. I get tired of it. Bill from Big Love was a huge douche too. He was, when he said what?
He was
was my
acting
dad
out
to a
the
T.
perfect
He was my dad to a
polygamous
T.
man. Yeah. When he said what?
When he said to Barb, I'm going to need you to give me your paycheck this next pay. And she's like,
You
really?
could
Why?
ask.
And he's like, don't ask. She goes, you can ask, not demand. And he's like, don't give me any crap about this. Just put the money in my account. And I was like, oh my God, I've heard a million men say this. Yeah. You guys think Cody's a douche? Like,
well, you've heard
Bill was
2 or
huge
3.
on there.
Yep.
What did you say?
Well, he was emulating somebody. He was using.
They say it's been rumored that Big Love was based loosely on my family, my dad. My mom had my mom had breast cancer, and Barb has cancer. My dad, yeah. It's very, very loosely. There's a lot of correlations. I know a lot of
I
people
think they
said Joe
use a
Darker
lot
too,
of different
but Joe would have
people.
been
Yeah.
in his early 20s at that time when that came out, or
When that was
Yeah.
written.
when that was written, he would have been in his late 20s. So yeah, I don't know that it was fully about Joe Darger or his
I
family.
think it was a combination of a whole bunch
yeah.
of different men. Yeah.
We would take
all
the
the
storylines
stories.
and we'd be
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I know who that
Yeah.
family is. I know who they're talking about here. I know who they're
Yeah. I
describing here.
assume that would probably be what happened in this family. That's awesome. So they took a lot of what would you a lot of rumors that were going around polygamous groups, and the guy was listening and putting down notes and putting it all together in a show. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. What was I just going to say about that? Dang it. I can't remember. Oh, well. Do either of you know Nathan, Mary's brother-in-law? Just considered Cody his best friend. I know Nathan. I knew Nathan. I don't really know him now. I don't know about their relationship.
I have no clue who he is. I've never met him.
Yeah, he was an acquaintance growing up. I knew of him, and we another sign that polygamy isn't natural. The guys need drugs. Very true. And every single polygamous man that I know of uses them. So I don't know of too many that don't use them of something.
How many polygamous men do you know?
I know quite a few. Especially, let's see. Is Cody's brother a polygamist too? I think he has one brother that is a polygamist, and I don't know about the other ones. I think Scott is still a polygamist, but I don't think any of the other ones are.
My younger siblings knew the Browns.
Is this my sister? I'm wondering if this is my sister.
Yeah, my younger siblings knew that part of the Brown family. I knew another Brown family that were older, but growing up, but they're not even related to these Browns. So
yeah. Oh yeah. The other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. I thought that one of these girls was my sister, but she looks just like her. But it's a tiny little picture, so I couldn't quite tell. Yeah, it was. He did such a good job. He does a really. Poor guy was sweating bullets. He was up all night long. He was like, he just really. Our son that just got married. Was only 19 months old when Corey and I got together.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was really little, and he was 2 when we got married. So he has only ever really known Corey in that position as being his dad. And so this was really, Corey married our daughter too, and that was still like, there was a lot of pressure there too, but this little guy was, it was a little bit different.
Melanie thinks I fell in love with her when we first met. I actually fell in love with Buddha.
Oh, you were in love with him.
I was in love with you too.
I could convince you to like him because he was
stinking amazing.
And he had a bottle, and he had all of these other things that Corey was like, no, I don't want that in my car. So it took Corey a second to fall in love with stinky diapers, boogers, and
I learned quickly.
And he did. You did learn really quickly. You were amazing. So yeah, so when Corey married him on Saturday, it was, I don't think there was a dry eye in the entire place. And the bride's father was just as sweet as he could be. Very, very grateful. So, let's see. Do Mary and Robin still wear the garments? I would say no. They don't appear to me that they do. Go ahead.
Robin could be wearing them. She's got
in this last episode she was in t-shirts, and so.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, the garments go all the way down to your wrist.
I just saw her dressing up for the sit and talking show, and she's got that frumpy frilly thing on. So I don't know.
I wonder what's causing the cancer. It's anger and frustration.
Here's the thing.
Jealousy and rage.
Here's the thing with Robin. For always talking about how she needs to be safe and her home needs to be safe and Cody needs to safely kept her, or whatever that is. And she's I'm guessing she probably does still wear them when she's feeling vulnerable. So because they're her
Cody's
safety
like,
armor.
Do you want to play dress up tonight?
Yeah. She's like, nope, I got the garments on. We're good.
Oh my God, I just had like the dirtiest thoughts go through my head. It's like, hey, instead of wearing lingerie, you want to play dress up tonight? You go put on your prairie garb and
Yep, let's go.
yeah. Oh, my mom said
Get that
I had
bun.
uterine cancer, not breast cancer. Did I say breast cancer? I didn't mean to. Yeah, uterine cancer. I apologize. I didn't mean to say breast cancer if I did. I know that. Yeah. Let's see. That's funny. I'm like, that's oh, come on. Do any of the polygamy wives secret a little of the money away just in case they need it and the family can't provide? I think almost every single one does.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, they
Even if it's not
probably
a
all
lot,
have savings. Yeah.
yeah, even if it's not a lot, even if it's just you know, $100 or $200 or whatever it is, something that they can go to if they need it. I think every single wife does that. I don't know any of them that does. This is hilarious. Nathan seems employed by Cody as his professional ego fluffer. That's hilarious because I've noticed that too on some of the shows where Nathan's on there. So,
yeah, but I haven't seen I haven't seen him since the move. So
yeah.
and so if and probably was only around because he was moving Mary. I don't think now that Mary and
Well, because Nathan's married to Mary's sister.
yeah, and so that now that Cody's not having anything to do with Mary and probably not having anything to do with Nathan now too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see them still being friends because Nathan is a really nice guy.
Okay.
But yeah, Nathan. I mean,
he's a nice fluffer.
Again, he's a nice fluffer. Again, I didn't know him very personally. I just knew of him, and yeah, and I did know his wife a little bit, and she's a sweetheart. Okay, Corey's little sister says the Browns would stay with us at conference time, and I went to the Browns ranch with my mom and dad once. Cody brought Mary to our house to see how dad did polygamy because he wanted all the wives to live in the same home. So yeah, so Cody took Mary there on their honeymoon, and he also took Christine. They stopped by there on their honeymoon too. He likes to do road trips for honeymoons.
I wasn't around at that time. I was.
Yeah, you were already way.
Well, I worked out of state when I was younger too. So
right. Catherine, thank you so much. Says to Mel's mom in memory of Robert and my brother Gene. Oh, thank you so much. Nice. Yeah, we if you missed one of our lives, you can always go back and check it out. Someone had asked how my younger brother had passed, and my mom went into that story. So yeah, it's been a rough couple years for us living and learning to adjust life without him because everything revolved around him. It felt like he would have been 31 2 weeks ago. He would have been 31. So he was the same age as my daughter too. Let's see. Does your mother still believe in polygamy? Yeah, she actually answered that on one of the lives that we just recently. I did a live with my sister, and my mom did answer that on that live. That yes, she still does believe in polygamy. She just doesn't want to do it with my dad because he's kind of a jerk. So let's see. You think Cody's bad? I wouldn't say my dad's as bad as Cody. Oh God, that's so hard. Would you say my dad? I'm not putting you on the spot like that, but I don't know. Yeah, I would say he is. I want to see the good in my dad too. It's hard because he makes it so hard to see. He buries it so deeply.
I'll just state it this way. If he had a TV show, he wouldn't look better than Cody on his own TV show. So
very true.
And he has authority and leadership on his side too, under his belt, which moves. I mean, if Cody was a prophet, he would absolutely be insufferable. So
yeah, my dad's pretty insufferable. I think Robin is confused. Both her and Cody wear cross necklaces now. Maybe they joined the girls' churches. I kind of wondered that too, because it's not like you're not supposed to wear a cross. At least I don't feel like I was ever taught not to wear a cross. It was just more like, why would you want to wear the vehicle in which Christ died? That was what I was always taught, but I wasn't taught that we couldn't wear them. It was just not a symbol that you would celebrate, I guess. And so what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't fault.
It's just
anyone
not some of the
wear
jewelry
it's
that,
just not something
not of jewelry that they sold jewelry at the CTR rings and things like that. They never at the church
A
get
CTR ring
togethers.
is something that the Mormon church, every Mormon child gets one or two or 10, and it's CTR. It's called Choose the Right, and it comes on a shield. It's like a little shield, like a Captain Moroni type thing, or captain of an army type shield, and it's a ring that you wear, and you get it when you're 8 years old, typically, of choosing the right. So yeah.
And I knew I wasn't destined to be I think my path was laid out before me, because they gave the whole storyline about choose the right and all of that stuff, and I think I swiped one. So I didn't.
You stole it?
I stole it.
Stole
So I
Choose the Right ring?
chose the wrong.
Oh my gosh. I knew you had this inner darkness to you.
I gave it back though, but
you did.
Like, yeah.
You're like, I don't want.
My mom made me take it back. Where'd you get that? I'm like,
yeah.
They were laying on a desk. I just took one. No.
Okay. Did you catch it when Cody said, I have to see Christine's kids, and his brother corrected him and said, your kids? When I saw that, I thought of how that negatively communicates to the children. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. And I kind of went into that too, because he has been hanging out with Robin, where Robin has been referring to the other children now. When she refers to her own kids, it's our kids, hers and Cody's kids. And, but when she's referring to the other family, and he's been so much around Robin that he is referring them to Christine's kids, or Mary's kids, or Janelle's kids. He's not referring as his own. He's not taking that on, and it's taking his brother, who they've all been raised under the same teachings, going, wait a minute, those are your kids too. You need to take some ownership there.
Yeah.
And he's kind of shaking. Oh yeah. You're right. My kids too. So
yeah.
But he's just been hanging around Robin too much, talking her lingo.
Yep.
So
yeah, there's currently a measles outbreak in Hilldale right now. 135 people. Yeah, everyone has their opinions about what diseases they want to get and which diseases they don't want to get. I'm not here to debate vaccines, but yeah, we did in our community growing up. One person got it; it went around to everybody. So I'm not surprised if that's the case. I'm not surprised at all. Let's see. Cody is not intelligent enough to pull off prophet level evils.
He can't even keep 3 wives.
Yeah, at least my dad can marry them. Barely older than his oldest children, so that's good. Mel, my ex, is married to a Mormon. Her son, which we raised our boys together back then, died a couple weeks ago. Felt sick, turned yellow, 2 weeks in the hospital, died liver and kidney damage. Oh, that is horrible. Yeah, I think, due to drink. Okay, there's more.
Yeah,
due to drinking, none of us knew he overdrank. We do not drink in our social settings, so we were ignorant. 36-year-old and best kid, just jumped here in the Vale area. Very loved young man. Oh, yeah. See, this is one of the things that frustrates me so much about the religions like this that have these harsh rules, is because everything's done in secret. And I think this is why people want to talk more about polygamy, so that we can bring out the abuses in it, because it's so sad. I mean, there's no reason somebody like that couldn't have been helped. but there was probably so much shame that he felt around the drinking part of it because it's so against the religion. And yeah, and when you can't openly discuss and you don't know someone has an issue, the next thing you know, I had a sister who died of alcohol poisoning, and it was, there's one of our children, sorry.
I am going to get that ring.
I know, you better watch your phone too. If I don't answer, she'll call dad. But so my older sister, she died of alcohol poisoning, and it was hard. It was hard to watch that happen. She no longer believed in the religion, so she was open about it. But I feel like that's where there's just so many. I wish that we could have more open dialogue with people. Corey's ring said NR nefarious revelation.
I'm getting that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Chicks that rule.
That's funny. How old is your youngest sibling? She just turned 25, and she is my dad's youngest child. Now he has since then married, well, as most people know, he married one of my previous best friends. When he married her, her youngest was 11, but she's not a sibling. We don't count her as a sibling. She doesn't count us as siblings. That wife's kids all refer to their previous polygamous family as their siblings, which happens to be Corey's brother. And so, yeah. So my dad's youngest biological child is 25, and his oldest biological child is about to be 53. So he biologically adds from 53 down to 25.
Thanks, Katie.
Let's see.
Corey's youngest sibling is soon to be 29.
Yeah.
He said I could show you guys a picture of him too, so I got a picture that I need to upload. Yeah.
Oh, he's such a cute kid. Our youngest looks so much like Corey's youngest sibling. Let's see. Is Alice back out on the bench by the entrance? Oh my gosh, yeah. Remember we had our skeleton. That's man. So yeah, Jay Patel's been around for the beginning when we would do our shows, our podcast in our office. But the floor was hardwood floor, and it's just echoed so loud. So when our daughter moved out, we turned the extra bedroom into a studio room. We call it our studio room now. Let's see.
Should bring her in.
Yeah, that's why. Well, that's why I put the doll up too. Let's see. Do you think Cody is still angry with Christine because she was strong enough to leave him and stand up for herself, or do you think he actually really cared for her? My personal opinion, I could be way off, is that Cody always felt like he was superior to Christine. And I think the line that he used, Christine was polygamy royalty, was a load of crap. She even said she was stunned when he said it out loud. Like, where did that just come from? Because that's not, cue Olivia in the chat. Olivia just called, so she'll be in the chat in a minute. Our daughter. And so I think that he always felt very, very superior to Christine. He had to lower himself on the social status poll to marry Christine. Because polygamy royalty is not really a thing. It's something that he made up, kind of.
She's saying that because she's polygamy royalty now, because her dad is the PSR. Because
I'm a really, really big deal. And so, yeah. So I think that's why he's so upset, is because he dropped his social status to marry her, because look how amazing he is, and look how, socially fun he is, and all this other stuff. And Christine just didn't fit that image.
I think that he felt, because she was very loyal, she was in love with him.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that he knew that to the core. And so anything he did, he could just apologize or say one nice or sweet thing. And
love bomb her back into.
In his belief system, he thought she would never leave. She would never leave him. she was too in love with him.
Mhm.
And so he might have to work harder with other wives who had left. But in his mind, in his thought pattern, she was going to be the most loyal. She, at that time, had studied the most about the gospel and had did these speaking tours, and she was so passionate about promoting polygamy that he never thought she would leave. And when she left, it I think it stunned him. I think it was like the
It was a
one.
huge blow to his
Yeah,
ego.
it hit his ego hard. The one that he thought would always be there and be the most loyal, and he could treat her any way he wanted,
Yeah.
and with no repercussions. And she packed up and said, "Nope, I'm out of here," and left, which almost gave permission to the other wives who had already been going through this, going, right, yeah, if she's leaving, I'm leaving too. And I understand why she's leaving. And so,
I was so proud of her for leaving.
yep. And so, and it did. I felt like that it eventually gave permission to the other wives were like, yeah, you're right. We're not putting up with this either. Christine had been putting up with it, I feel like, the most up until that point.
Well, and I look at my parents too. You know, my dad knows for a fact he's better than my mom. And my mom is the most loyal.
She believes it.
I mean, hell, she's 71 and just now trying, wanting to get away. And he's over here. He is so butt wounded by this, by the fact that, and what he says to her was, I just want my sweet Sherlyn back. And my mom's like, well, then you shouldn't have been a dick to her, huh? And so these men take these women for granted over and over. They just think that they're going to be there. My ex-husband feels the same way. He didn't think that I would ever get the nerve to leave. Most women don't. Most women never get to a place where they're just like, I can't do this anymore. And they tolerate and they tolerate and they tolerate. And so an abuser can continue to abuse over and over and over again when the victim is never willing to do anything, or they believe the victim is incapable of doing something. And so I feel like Cody didn't think that Christine was capable. And I think also what pissed him off so bad about it is that she was not calculated, but she was prepared. She went in there, okay, great, you're not on my house loan anymore. She got her ducks in a row before she did it. And that pissed him off because then he didn't have time to counteract what she had already put in place.
Yeah.
So,
well, and there's also there's a religious reason that he is so ticked. And here's the religious reason on that. They are married for time and all eternity. And
who does she think she is, packing up and leaving?
Exactly. This is their way into heaven. God will work things out when they get there. They'll discipline Cody if he needs to be disciplined, whatever it is. But this was their way into heaven. And she risked hell. She not only left Cody, but left everything because her stance was, if I'm going to be doing this for eternity, this is hell, and I'd rather risk going to hell than to be with this man. That's almost a bigger smack in the faith. I would rather be damned for eternity than to live with this man for eternity. And that just smacks at his ego, his religion, everything. And so he is extremely wounded about that because she's risking hell based on their belief system, eternity in hell, than to just suffer through the end like she should have, to have things worked out in the end, but to still be in heaven. So,
and honestly, the first time I wanted to choose out of life, I was 20. I'd had a huge fight with my husband that night, my ex-husband that night. He wanted to date another girl. He really wanted to marry her. I didn't want him to. He told me, I deserve to be happy. You don't make me happy. Drove me to the point of I would rather risk eternal damnation, because if you choose out and you choose to take your own life, then you are forever going to hell. And I was more willing to do that than live with him anymore. And the pain was just too great, and I didn't want to do it anymore. So that was a huge slap in his face, because I would rather go to hell for all of eternity than live with this man for one more moment. And, thank God for my children, because my 2-year-old came in and said, that's the only thing that stopped me from doing it. I was halfway there, and my 2-year-old said, I need my mommy. And all of a sudden it was like, I came back, it was an out of body experience. I came back into my body and I was like, I can't leave these children with him. And that's the only thing that stopped me from doing it. But I was that desperate to get away from the situation. And I was barely 20 years old when that happened. And I would rather have eternal damnation than deal with that. What are you laughing? What are you smiling at? Oh,
You being fact checked.
Oh no.
Enjoying milk.
What did I do now? Mom, what are you fact checking me on now? I have to go back through here and see what she said. Oh, I said ass. Because I said don't be a dick. I'm sorry, Mom. And she said don't be an ass. My bad. I'm like, what? What is she fact checking me on? This is why I love it when my mom watches, because she will fact check the hell out of me. And then sometimes, like if we just make a video, then she'll call me later and she's like, you need to fix this. You said Dad was 6'9" and he's only 6'8". I'm like, oh my God, Mom. So
he's a runt.
But I do appreciate the fact checking, because we do want to make sure that the things that we say are accurate, and we don't want to be over here just willy-nilly throwing a bunch of stuff out because it sounds striking.
Yeah, and your mom would never use that word.
My mom would never say dick. She would only say ass. You're absolutely right. And I agree with this. Christine, keeping the money from the sale of the house is what Cody is truly pissed off about, not the kids. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
100%.
When she left and was able to, she left with means to rebuild, and he felt like that those means should have been left with the family.
Yeah, so, we could you do a live stream where it's just a Q&A on the religious tenets, not sister wives related? Yeah, absolutely. That we prefer to do that. I really don't like talking about sister wives, but sister wives is what people know. Well, and so it's easier to show examples of what some of the belief systems are because of sister wives. But yes, absolutely. If you have any questions, like go ahead and throw them at us. We would definitely. Oh, thank you, Carly. Carly says, Mel, you've got me crying. I'm so sorry you went through that. Yeah, thank you. I actually made a video about it when I very first started my YouTube channel. So it is on this channel. It's just at the very, very beginning. I talk about it. Let's see.
You quote Mama
you
Mel
quote Mom correctly. Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah. So if you wanted to go back, when I very first started the YouTube channel, I went into a lot more personal. This is another thing Corey and I were talking about this morning. Like, I don't like covering sister wives, but I feel like it's what is out there right now and people know. And so I told him we've got to start doing more personalized, videos where we're talking more about our own personal experiences and what we've gone through. And then also, and with a sprinkle of sister wives right now, but it is hard because everybody does know sister wives and what's happening with that. And so it makes it harder not to use that as an example when people don't always understand even the tenets of the faith. They don't even understand. Yeah. They don't even understand their own tenets of their faith. I'm not professing that I do either, because the rules change all the time. So,
but for the most part, I mean, I've even asked my mom questions and she's like, oh, I don't know the answer to it. So then, and usually if she didn't have the answer, she would talk to leadership or dad, but we were taught a lot of them. There's a lot that we weren't taught because we didn't make it up high enough within their religious things. I never went through their temple or learned any of their rituals or anything, but I did ask questions and I did study their scriptures and stuff and ask questions about it. And so I thought it was weird when new prophets would come in and they'd change their own scriptures. So
yeah, and I think that's one thing I was telling Corey today. I think I just took for granted that my dad's always been in the leadership. And then his wife was one of the founders of Principal Voices that Christine was in. And so she was our Sunday school teacher. So we were taught a lot. I was taught a lot more of these things than maybe just an average
most
person
people were.
in the AUB.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I took that for granted. I didn't realize that I was being taught a little bit more than maybe what an average AUB member would be taught. An average AUB woman member was taught.
Exactly.
That's how I should put it.
There's worse.
Because I was being taught a little bit more, because my other mother was a church historian and her father was a leader, and then my father was a leader. So thank you so much for this question. I really appreciate this question, because this is actually a great question.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel the first day you stopped wearing your garments? I was terrified. If I'm going to be really honest, I was terrified, because I wore them so diligently, and I wore them so, I was just 100% all in and committed. In the time period that I wore them, I went out of the house one time without them on, and I got like down the street in my car, and I realized, oh my gosh, I didn't have them on, because I was doing laundry. And I, honest to God, thought I was going to get in a car accident and die before I got back home. And so the first day I stopped wearing my garments,
fear.
It was terrifying. Well, okay, I went out of the house twice without them. So that time I was worried about getting a video back to the video store before I got a late fee. And so, and then the second time my daughter had a seizure, and I was doing laundry. We had just gotten back from the compound in Montana. My ex-husband's from the compound. Corey's I married 2 Montana compound boys. But I was doing all the laundry because we'd been in Montana for a long time, and she had a seizure, and the ambulance took us in an ambulance to the hospital, and I was like freaking out. I called my mom immediately, obviously, to tell her that we were on our way to the hospital, and to please go get me a pair of garments, because I couldn't be stuck in the hospital I couldn't be in a place where people die without my garments on. So I was really terrified. And then I made it through the whole day without dying, and I was actually kind of surprised. And then the next day it got a little easier, and the next day it got a little easier. And so, yeah, but I was cautiously moving through life for a little while after I took them off, because I was so scared. And then I had my next baby was a sick baby, and I thought God was punishing me for taking them off and leaving. So I went back to the Polygamous group for another 2 years and had them. I was rebaptized and put my garments back on me, and I wore them very faithfully for another 2 years before I took them off completely, and then never went back. So it was, somebody says you probably felt naked. I felt very naked, because I'd been wearing these faithfully since I was 17 years old. And I mean, I didn't even have clothes that I could wear. I didn't have anything that was short sleeved or shorts. I didn't wear shorts, anything like that. So it was a little scary. I won't lie.
Go lamb right there. You just missed it.
Right here.
Down one.
Let's see. Other than the baptisms, does the AUB have any other sacraments? Catholics have 6. Go for it. You know more about that than me. Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do. So at 8 years old, you're given baptism by immersion. You have to go all the way under. And then so you talk on both the girls and the boys are baptized at 8. Then at 12, the boys are given the Aaronic priesthood. And then depending on, you have to do certain things, learn articles of faith, learn some of the religion and the scriptures on it, and show that you are proficient in it. And then you get a move up as a young priesthood holder. Usually at 12, you're a deacon. At 14, you're a teacher, and then at 16 you're a priest within their
and this is not
religion.
Just AUB, this is Mormonism.
Yeah, this is what we got in the AUB. And then usually you're given the Melchizedek priesthood, when you become an adult, make it to elder, and then there's rankings above that, 70s high priests, things
Yeah.
like that. And so, yeah, the guys move up there. They've also got the temple ceremony that they go to. And usually, depending on how your rankings are, then you can get a second temple ceremony. So there are a handful for, and then it's the marriage ceremony that you usually are going through the endowment house or the temple for, where both men and women participate.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of movements in there. And so during each one, I mean, then you learn how to pass sacrament under certain rankings as you move up through the religious thing. So
Yep.
Yep.
So you're learning as you're going. Our kids never got old enough, because after we left the Polygamous church, we joined the Mormon church, and our boys never got old enough to participate in a lot of that.
Then when you turn 23, it gets all taken away. Just with one letter.
Kicked out, and you're like, get out of here. You're too hot and sexy.
One letter takes it all away.
Yeah.
So,
is your mom still in polygamy? She still believes in polygamy. I mean, I don't want to speak for her necessarily. She did answer this question in the live that we did a couple weeks ago, but yes, she still does believe in it. And, but she doesn't have any faith in the current leadership. The current leadership sucks. Oh, yeah, I agree with this. I just kept waiting for God's wrath to strike me down, as that is what I had been taught if I left my cult.
Yep.
That's how I felt too. I 100% felt that way. And I was skittish for a while. I was just like, and I was worried about driving my children. I know this might sound weird, but I was worried about driving my children in the car, because I thought, if I'm not protected, how can I protect them? And also, if God's going to punish me, I don't want them to be like caught in the crossfire of God punishing me. And so, yeah, there was a lot that I had to unpack there.
Yeah.
Where do you want?
She named all the Catholic ones. I think we have similar.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
So the 7 Catholic sacraments: baptism, confirmation.
Yeah, there's a confirmation
Eucharist,
for
penance,
us.
reconciliation, anointing of the sick, matrimony, marriage, and holy orders. So yeah.
Yeah, but I would have to say we have.
You have to be ordained a certain level of the priesthood in order to do those things.
Yeah, but they have all of those within the AUB too. So
yeah. So, but the steps that you just described, you have to be ordained a certain level in order to perform
each one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm kind of new to this, but what are garments? What are they used for? There's something that the Mormon Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church, whatever you want to call it, when you go through their temple ceremony and you learn how to become a god, then it is a protection that you agree to wear for the rest of your life on this mortal earth. And there's supposed to be a protection and a blessing to you, to protect you from all sorts of things. And so, and a constant daily reminder of the commitment and the promise that you made when you went through the temple. So it's a constant reminder of a promise, and it's a protection. And yeah.
Those are all the promises and everything. They're depending on which religion you're in, but in the AUB, a long pair of white underwear with Masonic symbols on them to represent each one of those promises you're making. So
somebody says we need a version of your channel called Corey Off the Cuff. That's hilarious. I know he has a lot more to say, and he does. And that's the thing is, we have always debated like how much to say, because we want to be honest about what we're talking about. And we also still have family members that live this way that we love, and we want to be respectful to them as well. So that I feel like we're always trying to walk that fine line.
Yeah. I already know I'm going to hell. based on the religion I was raised in. So I don't have too much hard
Our new
time
daughter-in-law
saying
says to
it.
him,
So
Corey, you already know you're going to hell. Why don't you
well,
just go
get
for a high score? I'm
so,
like, don't
but
encourage him.
but I still want my family to still talk to me. I don't want to be
yeah.
too rude about their
I-
religion. So
my
I'm just
daughter-
giving you the pointers of what we were told they were and what I kind of feel like they are. They're a pair of long underwear that have Masonic symbols on it, and that
a lot of Mormonism
you are taught.
coincides with Masonry.
Yeah, you're taught to fear the outside world, and these are protections you get to wear. And so, if you pay your tithing and do all of these things, then if you give everything to the community, then you have the right to then get their temple recommend and go in and buy some of their protection underwear. So that's really so it's
A lick of butter and not a, yeah.
Yeah. So
Corey, yeah, that's hilarious. I want to answer this one. If you never marry, then you never have garments. Not necessarily. In the Mormon church,
yeah.
what they do is you see the Mormon missionaries out all the time. They wear the garment. They go through the garment isn't necessarily tied to the marriage ceremony.
No. Yeah.
They're called endowments, where you go into the temple and you receive your own endowments. It's separate to you. It's an individual thing that you agree between you and God. It's not necessarily something between you and your husband or you and your wife. It's you between you and God. And so in the Mormon church, they have missionaries that go out and preach and proselyte to the world. So they go through the temple ceremony and receive their endowments, and they make promises and covenants, and then they wear their garments while they're out on their mission. I know that the AUB did that for a minute, but I don't think they still do it. But I don't know if they still do it, where you can go through. Now they just coincide it along with the marriage ceremony, but that's not always.
Yeah, usually you have to become worthy of it, and if you're coming in and getting married, that's you worthy. Let's just wrap them all up in one and get it all done and taken care of in one ceremony. So
yeah. Let's see. So we will just answer a few more questions because, oh my gosh, we've been going for 2 hours. I had no idea we've been going this long. We love answering the questions, and sometimes we don't always know the answer, but we definitely.
Yeah, because I want to clarify that too. My parents were all married within the AUB, and
but the AUB didn't have their own.
They didn't have an endowment house
at the time,
or even. Because you had to go through an endowment house or a temple. And so this is where I was talking to my mom. Yeah. They created the endowment house down here in Salt Lake. And then these people had all been married, gone through a marriage ceremony. So where they were married, but they didn't have their endowments done. And that endowment is to give them their garment. Yeah. And so the first part of most of my parents' life, they didn't have their endowment done and they didn't have the garments. It wasn't until most everybody within the AUB, my parents were kind of the last ones they felt like to be invited down to go through the endowment house and get their garments put on them. So
yeah. And somebody said, why Masonic? Joseph Smith was a Mason, part of the Mason. And so a lot of the rituals and a lot of the stuff comes from him.
Yeah. Directly. He felt like that the Masons had a lot of the rituals but he was enhancing them. He was getting knowledge from God to do it. And so they look very identical. Every one of them changed a little bit here, stuff put in there. So if you're a Freemason, you probably recognize, if you're a Mormon, you recognize Freemasonry handshakes
it's
and all
over
that
the
stuff.
Temples, the Masonry symbols is all over all of the temples.
It's everything. It's their handshakes. It's their symbolisms on their garments. It's all of that stuff. It's their aprons.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Corey, if you're going to hell, then we're all going to hell, and it'll be one big party.
It is going to be a great party, and it's going to be that's what I always joked with Dad about. Hell's probably going to look like Pinesdale, and it'll be my hell, but everybody else will be like, this is heaven.
That's
Why is
funny.
Corey here? So, and then I'll have to break it to them that we're all in hell. It's going to be
Right.
stinking fun.
Are any of your children in the Mormon religion? No. None of our kids are actively in any religion. That's just the way we
As
prefer
aren't
that.
we.
We prefer, our kids are extremely spiritual though, which is
It's amazing.
like amazing for me. I love to watch them because all of our kids are very, very spiritual, but none of them are actively religious.
Could we see a pic of, you probably can.
You can Google, just go to Google and Google original Mormon garments, and they'll have them right there for you.
I've never even seen Melanie's garments. So I've been married 25 years. Don't even know what they look like.
Which is so funny because I still have my temple bag with all my stuff in it. And I didn't realize I'd never showed it to him.
I just don't snoop through her previous marriage stuff.
But I'm sure I have it downstairs, and we have a big house and it has a lot of storage space. And I think it just, although it was in our closet for a long time, and I'm like, why is this in here? I need to get rid of this. And so I took it downstairs in the storage, and I just never looked. We don't pay attention to it, but we might have to go pay attention to it now. Because I definitely still have all this.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen her in garments. So
he always, that's why I was laughing earlier, because he's always like, go put your prairie garb on and let's role play. I'm like, shut up, we're not doing that. Let's see.
I know all the handshakes. Come on. See, this is me getting sacrilegious. Probably get hit by lightning. So
let's see.
Her dad's minions are definitely checking this one in. So
let's see. Okay, we'll go. The questions are bouncing so fast. I forgot to put the timer on that slows them down for me. So I apologize. I'm trying to catch up with them. Why does the AUB accept every other race except for Black people, even though Mexican DNA is closer to African American than white? This is my take on it, and I could be wrong. Corey knows way more about this stuff than I do. It's because Brigham Young, Joseph Smith was the original founder of Mormonism. Then Brigham Young was the next prophet, and he had a belief or a revelation or whatever you want to call it, that the black skin was the curse of Cain, and so that was why. And so it's something that has just been passed down, and I think it's ridiculous. I've struggled with it. I know a lot of Mormons that struggle with it too. But it is something that the second leader of the Mormon church proclaimed. And people with no scientific backup of it.
He doesn't need scientific anything. He talks to God.
Yeah.
And he was racist
in
as
any
could
way,
be.
shape, or form, other than this one man who put out this word and caused millions of people to be racist. That's what I feel like.
And now I'm in the Mormon family. Their second prophet was racist. He is absolutely a racist.
He 100%.
And he basically made that statement, even though there were African Americans that had joined the church or a part of the church before that. And so now, yes, the church has reversed that and basically said that that everybody can get the priesthood, but the AUB again is basing their belief systems on Prophet Joseph Smith said that anybody could get the priesthood. Any male said get the priesthood. If you're living the true priesthood, then there should be no hindrance on who gets the priesthood. I mean, Joseph Smith didn't want women to, he didn't want women to have priesthood, but any worthy male should be able to have the priesthood. And Joseph Smith said so. Even based on their first, but then they get to pick and choose.
But there were members
who
of
they
the
want
church
to do it.
When Joseph Smith was alive that were African American. That didn't happen until after Joseph Smith died and Brigham Young took over.
Yeah.
So
which
the church wasn't originally founded on racism.
Yeah.
The second prophet just
brought in his teachings.
So when the Mormon church
Ask the AUB, which prophet are they following? So
Yeah. Are they following Joseph Smith or Brigham Young?
yeah.
But when the Mormon church, the mainstream Mormon church allowed, took that back and said, nope, we're allowing all members to have the priesthood now. There was a huge mass exodus out of the LDS church, and a ton of people joined the AUB.
Yep. Still based off of the teachings of Brigham Young. So
exactly. So yeah, I think they're some of the most racist. I mean, and 3 of my children are Hispanic, so they have. I mean, I know our daughter. My daughter did a DNA test. I should ask her.
Yeah.
She did a 23andMe, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, technically human DNA is human DNA. We're all brothers and sisters. Exactly. So exactly. So
yeah. Let's see. Corey, you need to ask your dad what God sounds like. That's funny. For those that don't know, when my dad became the leader of the AUB, I did ask him that. Hey, Dad, can you tell me what God's voice sounds like? Because I just really am curious.
Me on helium.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, I think this is very funny. Maybe a little sacrilegious, but kind of funny. Who knew pulling someone through the veil was a pickup line?
That's right.
I think that's hilarious. Thank you for sharing that. I was like, wait, the comments are bouncing so fast and I can't get back to that one.
I'll be there to pull you through the veil.
Yeah.
That was Cody's pickup line. That was his promise to Robin, that he would be there to pull her through the veil. So
let's see. Somebody did ask my mom if she still wears her garments. I hope she doesn't kill me for sharing this. She says, I do still wear my garments because it's a covenant with God, not with my so-called husband. I'm struggling to get past not wearing them. And that's how I feel too. That's how I felt when I left. It's a covenant between me and God. It's not a covenant between me and my ex-husband. Same with my mom. It's a promise that she made between her and God that she believes in, not a promise that she made between her and her husband. So I totally agree with you, Mom, on that one. Let's see. The curse of Cain, I think, is people trying to explain it. But the fact is, Joseph Smith did ordain a few African Americans to the priesthood. He did. I think we also have to have a look at the times and the circumstances. Yeah. So I think it's really sad. But I think it's really sad. Somebody also just said, for the first time ever, Corey is louder than Mel. I'm so proud of you.
I have learned.
Good job.
Yep. I get my big boy voice on.
I know. I'm like, babe, you got to speak up more. So like, just pretend that I'm frustrating you and you got to talk over me, because I tend to talk over people too. Okay, let's go to one more question and then it's 2.5 hours. Remember,
let's wrap it up.
You said, I don't know if I can sit there for another 3 hours. I'm like, oh my gosh, we'll go an hour. I'm on Mel time again, not Corey time. But we love that so many people are joining us and that you guys have some really great questions. And I thank you so much for bringing questions out. We'll answer Sister Wives questions if we can, but I love answering the other types of questions. So thank you for everyone giving us those too.
Do that one there, because I wanted to no down to
right here.
Native and Mexicans came from tribes that dated back to Africa. Most natives was descendant from island people. Here's the interesting thing. New stuff is coming out. Science. That awkward. It's awkward for religious dogma. Science is so difficult on religious dogma. So yes, this is why they have a prophet who speaks to God, and it changes all the time. A lot of times changes over time, sometimes with science.
Actual science
counteracts
your religious, like what God told you.
Yeah. So yes, that is scientific intelligence is, hey, we all are the same DNA. We were all brothers and sisters. We're all humans, but when it's interesting that God, when he speaks through a mouthpiece, usually has that mouthpiece's political or ideologies wrapped up in it. If he's a racist, God's speaking through a racist, so his stuff's going to come out. If he's a sexist, that's going to come out. So
Well, and honestly,
God's
I
mouthpiece is
hope that all these people are wrong, because my mom had 11 children, and we literally have Hispanic, Japanese, Lebanese, Tongan, El Salvadorian. Out of her 11 children, we have a huge, Italian, like there is a huge array of different cultures and different ethnicities in my mother's grandchildren.
Yeah.
So I struggle with the whole racism thing, and yet it is so prominent. My grandma was one of the most racist people I've ever met. And my dad is right there next to her. Why are you laughing at that? Because she is. She was horrible. She was.
Yeah. I have every race, including African American, in my family. So
yeah.
So the religion can bite my ass. So I love my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They're amazing human beings. So yes. And that's, yeah. Very few of us want to be a part of the AUB anymore because of a lot of their religious belief systems, not just those ones. So I want
we want our family to feel loved.
Yep.
That's why we try to be careful about the things that we say. Then we're not just like spitting things out, because we want our family to still feel loved. So we try to be really
But
careful.
I don't want any of my family to be around to be a part of the AUB, and some of them still are. So,
right.
So I'm just trying to, hey, we have all different nationalities, all different skin colors, everything within our family, and we love them all. And so if you're still part of the AUB, come on out into the world where it's amazing and everybody loves each other, all of us.
And yeah, Jay Patel, thank you for being here. Jay Patel's been here from the very, very beginning of our lives. She says you're just happy I finally caught a live with you again.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I was missing you a little last couple lives.
Yeah, he even said, "Hey, we haven't seen her." I was going to say that Robin seemed to go way overboard to give the appearance of celebrating all lifestyle choices. So the truth is that she's actually a hypocrite, extremely. In my experience.
What did start the line again? What did Maddie say?
Oh gosh, that's back in my photos. Like
no, every word that comes out of her mouth is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely.
Yeah. So
if her mouth is moving, there's a lie in there somewhere.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. I see the scary doll behind you. Yes. So we actually put that doll up right after. What was it called? What did you call, like, doll? When
Dollgate or something
Dollgate.
like that.
When Robin got found out to have spent so much money on dolls, we actually put that doll up. It's a stupid little doll that I started collecting glass dolls when I was like 10. I don't know, and so I just had her up on a shelf in our bedroom. Because, we have extremely high vault in our bedroom, and we had her up on a shelf, and she was just there for like 10 years. And my little boy comes in one day and he's like, "That is creepy." Mom.
He's been scared of it since he was a little kid.
And I had no idea. So he climbed up there. This little guy climbs up there. It's like, I don't know, 12, 15 feet up off the floor, and brought her down. And then they were playing. Don't come at me for this, but they were playing with a Ouija board and with the doll, and she said her name was Victoria, so now they call her Victoria. So yes, my mom's come at me about that already. I get it. So now they've named the doll Victoria. I put her up for Halloween.
And if you don't look at her, she moves.
Yeah. No, he's terrified our grandchildren with that. Thank you, Lamb, for being here. We really appreciate you being here too. All right, I think we are gonna wrap it up. Corey.
Oh, yes, I did.
When Maddie said all those things on her Instagram.
I was just like, yep, she knows her. That's awesome. So
So thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, we haven't really done TikTok lives, I think, in over a year. You'll find our lives here on YouTube. It's just a little friendlier of a platform. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to be crammed into our little phone in order to get on there, which on TikTok we would have to. So we appreciate that. We're going to be dropping our recap of what we thought about episode 4. We're going to be dropping that here pretty quick. And that one made me hot. So angry. Which one?
Do that one right there. Right.
This one?
Down one.
Oh shit! It just jumped
That is
right here.
no, the snake. A snake.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. A snake only sheds its skin to become a bigger snake. Maddie posted that years ago when Christine left.
She's got some good lines. That one's a brilliant one.
Yeah.
Because
I totally agree.
yeah.
Oh, did my mom just say something too? Okay. Yeah. My mom says, amen. We are all brothers and sisters. That's what my
Mhm.
mom has always taught us. And I appreciate her for that. So yeah, thank you guys so much. If you don't follow any of our other social media, feel free to. I have a link in our channel description. I have a link to, and I'll put show notes on here and break them down by chapters so that you don't have to watch 2.5 hours. If you don't want to, you can just go right to wherever you wanted to go to. But yeah, if you want more of our daily activities, this week I've been a slacker because we had a huge wedding. Our son got married, but yeah, I update a little bit more daily on Instagram. So threw some wedding pictures up there.
I guess I gotta start.
Yeah, I guess you got to start watching our Instagram too. But yeah, so I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you guys so much for the questions.
Yep.
We're going to try to go live more often on Friday afternoons because that's just really when it works for us, and we love it. So thank you guys so much. And anything else you want to say before we?
Nope. Yeah. Thanks for. We've got our jackets and mugs out. Our notorious.
Oh yeah, thank you everyone who has purchased.
Thank you all for
thank you so much
purchasing those jackets. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we appreciate you all so much. So everyone have a great weekend, and I'm going to do another chapstick before anybody wants another shot. So,
cheers, everybody.
We love you. Thanks so much.